Let's talk about AI influencers. Now, I realize there's an irony here because I myself am attempting to be an AI influencer, or there's a hypocrisy in that I am an AI influencer with maybe hundreds of views, maybe some thousands, but definitely not millions. And there's a lot of them, right? And it makes sense because AI is the hype moment, right? And so it attracted all these people to do tutorials and education and of course influencers and hype machines, etc. And it makes sense because AI is the thing of the moment. A few years ago it was crypto and we got the same crop of types of folks who were kind of like creating the same type of content out there and be like, oh, you got to get on Solana, you got to get on Ethereum, you got to get on this NFT project, etc. A lot of them became millionaires. And also a lot of them ended up rugging people as well. And before that, what was it? It was maybe, some other technology or some other thing that people were kind of driving the hype on. And maybe this is influenced by the culture of the pandemic, definitely the culture of online. But nevertheless, there is the AI influencer. It's a thing. And I am annoyed by it because there's a lot of people who, it's oscillating between this is going to change the world. This is going to change everything. You've got, if you were watching the video model space, which I watched very closely, it was like every other day, it was like, oh my God, Sora is beating everybody, or Sora sucks, VO2 is beating everybody, or Kling 1.6 is beating everybody, and now it's Hilua, CC, so like all of these different programs and softwares are lapping each other every other day. And of course, the influencers are jumping in there and they're creating content that is that intense. And then it's also the opposite direction where, oh my God, this one sucks. Like, oh, I've used this, it sucks, it's not up to par, etc. And I think that creates an extremely unhealthy conversation about what is good and helping, bystanders who are trying to get in to understand what it is worth trying and which ones are worth trying. Because I think there's a lot of variability here, right? Where, and I've done multiple videos about this, where look, Sora is good at a specific type of thing, and you have to get to know the tool to make it sing, to make it do really well, to massage it in a particular way. Same thing with Kling 1.6, same thing with Google VO2. I mean, it's over and over again, like VO2 specifically. I see all these posts online of VO2, and people are like, oh my God, it's better than everything. And then I got into it, I started using it, and I realized, you know what, like, it's kind of similar to the others. You have to also learn how it works. People are cherry picking. And that's my biggest problem with these AI influencers across the board, be it LLM, be it video AI, be it image AI, be it whatever. And it's partly because half the time, a lot of this conversation around AI is just PR, right? It's not, journalists are not going that deep because frankly, a lot of journalists are just spending their time tearing down AI as a thing or tearing down the companies. They're not actually spending time with the actual features. So what we really need is more people who are practitioners, who are very serious. I mean, I've personally stopped following more influencers and start looking at more researchers because the researchers are way more humble and practical about the advice on how to use their tools because they have to literally benchmark them very seriously against other tools. And so I think that's kind of where I wish the conversation was. I really get annoyed with all this cherry picking from influencers. But anyway, that's just how the ball bounces. And we just have to live with that. But nevertheless, hey, I promise as myself, as becoming a creator and influencer in this space who is talking about these models and these tools, to be as honest as I can about what they're good at and what they're not good at and how they work on it, and not to get into this hype cycle of, oh my God, this is going to change the world, blah, blah, blah. I think that getting caught up in that can be a little bit dangerous. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Curious what you guys think. If you're wrapped up in that as well, do you find it confusing as well? Because I do. And I watch this space very closely. So curious what other folks think as well.